All right, friends, we're back again with our good friend here, JasonBlaha. We're going to do a reaction video to the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave himself, Blaha. So Blaha says genetics might determine aesthetics, but everyone can gain muscle and lose fat. Genetics doesn't determine aesthetics. Aesthetics just means you got low body fat. That's all it really means. So I don't know what he's talking about. But anyways, but everyone can gain muscle and lose fat. Well, everybody can gain muscle and everybody can lose fat and everybody can get fat and everybody can lose muscle. Here's the thing. Everybody can lose muscle and get fat and everybody can get lean and gain muscle. It's kind of obvious.
The aesthetics of your physique is mostly genetic. Hey, everybody, it's JasonBlaha here.
No, it's not. I like how he says mostly genetic. No, it's not at all. Aesthetic just means you have very low body fat.
And I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. But a quick reminder, please remember to like this video. If you aren't subscribed or...
Look, aesthetic has nothing to do with bodybuilding. The word aesthetic means somebody that wants to have low body fat. They look skinny and they have very low body fat. It makes them look muscular. That's all. That's all it is. It's like somebody trying to tell you powerlifting is bodybuilding. No, powerlifting is not bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is not powerlifting. They're all separate modalities. But how you accomplish these things, they're all different. Now, if you try to carry over your phony stuff to bodybuilding, your phony powerlifting, that's not going to work in bodybuilding, because bodybuilding is based on the principles of eccentric exercise. It is not based on concentric. Concentric does not build muscles, bro. Get it? People still not going to get this through their dumb head, that bodybuilding is not powerlifting. And powerlifting doesn't work in bodybuilding, and bodybuilding doesn't work in powerlifting because it would compromise your sportive performance. Jesus Christ.
I would appreciate it if you do so. And if you would please drop a comment, whether it's your thoughts on this or just to say hello, I would appreciate that also. So thank you so much. All right, let's get
hello, Blaha. Happy now? I said hello.
Over to the topic. And I'm saying this in a way.
You should be so lucky I'm making videos on you, Blaha. I'm telling you, because nobody else does. I'm actually helping you. People are watching you because of me.
To be very positive, and I think what people need to remember when this whole idea of a certain
look, I have just about the same amount of views you have, if not more, on my videos than yours, and I'm making videos on you and I get more views.
They want, maybe you have a certain structure you'd like to see, maybe a specific type of physique or bodybuilding or whatever. People get hung up on, hey, I want to look like this one person over here. And the reality is you probably aren't unless you have their structure.
He just hit the nail on the head. Looks. Look like this, look like that. Yeah, it's all about the looks. Don't listen to anybody in this world when they tell you it's not about looks. It really is about looks. I know that. I scrutinize myself. I look at myself and I just hate the way I look in a lot of my videos. But I was going through transitions. I had to figure out stuff on my own. I still shared my videos because I'm not going to stop making videos or posting what I look like. That is what I look like in the moment. But my whole goal is to look better now. Now that I figured out, I put things together, I figured it out. It was diet that I never could like figure out the whole diet thing. And then I was like one day, what? And then, no, just eat natural food, man. That's it, really, basically.
Their insertions, their genetics, you may not look like them, guys, and that's okay. All right, and here's what you have to remember.
No, that's not okay.
And
I like how he says, you're not going to look like them, but that's okay. No, that's not okay. It's not okay. Here's the thing. And when these so-called feminized males and, these males that are like below, their genetics are so below, they're like, well, I have to take steroids to to fake these genetics. And they do. That's their whole reason. The good majority of people that do take steroids out there, whatever, it's because they see themselves as inferior or feminized, or man, they see themselves as a lesser person, so they're like, I have to take steroids to lift a heavy weight. Like Blaha, he's got to take steroids to impress you, to lift something heavy in his garage. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to lift anything at all if it wasn't for him injecting this stuff.
Give practical advice. You have to remember.
Look, I know natural people, young people, whatever. You see them on their channels. They're like they could deadlift 400, 500, whatever. They could squat heavy. They could do certain things. But Blaha, he can't do any of that because the most he can lift is 500, I think, or 400 or something for a rep. He can't bench very much. He can't squat very heavy. Other than if it's concentric, he can squat semi-heavy. But that's only because he's injecting. Now think about it. If he wasn't injecting steroids to lift those, like the 500 or whatever, the 400 or squat 4 or 500, what would he be doing? Nothing. He'd be doing one plate on each one. He's lucky if he could even do 2 plates. Yeah, because he's weak. He's inferior.
And I'm going to give practical advice here. Here's what you have to remember. Are you trying to compete in something? Are you trying to make your living as a certain type of influencer? If the answer is no, then, guess what? It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Because what I want most of you to keep in mind, the people who see you walking down the street or other things, so let's assume we're not even talking performance-based. A lot of us train for various strength sports and performance as a primary. But that aside...
Listen to what he says, strength sports and performance. Bodybuilding is based on strength. Read it. Bodybuilding. Strength and muscle. Muscle and strength. Muscle is what makes you strong. Yeah. It's the gain in muscle that you're making in your exercises that's really making you stronger. And proliferation of motor units, these energy receptors for maximal force production, a bunch of things. They accumulate from this lifting. Oh, it's kind of obvious. They're called adaptations.
Thing to think about with that, do you think anyone who sees you walking down the street judges you by competitive bodybuilding or men's physique standards?
Nope.
Do you think they judge you by Instagram standards?
Nope. They judge you the way you look. They see you how they see you.
If a person looks and realizes you're fit or jacked or big, do you think they really care? No. All right, guys, here's a big one. Do you think any girl who's checking you out who maybe likes guys who are a little fitter, she likes muscle or likes abs or whatever it happens to be, do you really think she cares that you don't have perfect bodybuilder or physique competitor aesthetics? Do you think she really cares that you don't look like the guy on the cover?
Man, she cares about your face. Your face is the most important thing. Believe me, you're going to feel inferior if you don't have a pretty face. You're always going to cower. You're always going to be afraid. You're going to be shy. You're going to be ashamed if you don't have a pretty face. It's really simple. You may have a nice body, but if you don't have a pretty face, dude, trust me, your confidence is going to be out the window.
The magazine or the guy with the perfect lighting and the Photoshop on Instagram, do you really think she cares at all? Do you think it makes even one tiny shred of difference?
No, it doesn't. Want to know what does? Your face. That's why.
Of course not.
Of course not.
No, it doesn't matter. So here's what I'm going to say to people. Just train. Okay? Enjoy the...
You know, Blaha's the only one that I know that's got the most terrible looking face with a bald head and a terrible body. He's definitely been double blessed with a bad, ugly looking face and a body.
Fringe benefits. You can't control what your muscle insertions look like. You can't control what your bone structure looks like. But what you can do is gain muscle. What you can do is lose fat. And generally speaking, if you just want to look back.
Sure, you can lose fat. You can do a bunch of things, but guess what? The only way you're going to change your face, maybe you're going to go get plastic surgery or do something. I don't know, maybe Botox. I'm really not sure, but the face thing, you really can't change your face very much. There's very little that you could do to change that. As far as your body, if you have poor bone structure or something, or you're short, well, that's going to be hard to change too. Definitely. Can you put on muscle? Yes. Is that going to make you taller because you put on muscle? No. Is that going to make you, because you have very bad symmetry or something like Blaha, is that going to make you look pretty because you put on muscle? No, not really. See what I mean? So you luck out. Two, a lot of it has to do your genetic build, how tall you are, what you look like. No amount of bodybuilding or lifting is gonna is gonna change that.
better. Will
I
gaining
mean, many have tried, definitely. They have gone to the gym to try to look more pretty or aesthetic, they call it. That's why they call it aesthetic. See, they think that, well, if I lose the body fat, then that'll make me more attractive. And I'm not saying that doesn't, because definitely, you find these people are very attractive with very low body fat. You know what I mean? So that could help them. That definitely can't hinder you. It definitely could aid. You know what I mean? Even if you are really ugly.
muscle overall help? Yeah, usually. If you want to have maybe a more trimmed down, leaner look, tighter look, will losing fat get you there? Of course it will.
Yeah, people tell me, they go, you look a lot leaner right now. So obviously, if they're telling me that, they go, you look younger, you look leaner, like, you look way leaner. Obviously, they must find that attractive, because why else would they have to point that out?
All right, I can tell you with any of you guys right now, once you've built a muscular base, if you just want to look better, and I'm not particularly ripped right now myself, so I'm not talking about myself here, guys. I mean, this would apply to me right now too, wouldn't it? If I dropped 10 pounds of body fat, this same thing I'm telling you right now would absolutely apply to me.
Would he look better with if he dropped 10 pounds of body fat, Blaha? Yeah, he would definitely look better, but a better version of himself, not necessarily, but it would give him a better look. I don't know. We'd have to find out and see. He doesn't look that great, but he definitely would look better with lower body fat.
My physique probably look better. Yeah,
So
probably
yeah,
would.
I'm gonna have to agree with him there, unfortunately.
Okay, fair statement. But if that's your goal, then drop a little body fat. All right, that's very, very straightforward. If you're like, man, I want to look tighter and lean.
Yeah, if your goal is to look smaller, just do what Blaha does: power lift in bodybuilding. Use powerlifting, lift concentrically.
Here, I want some more cuts. I want, more definition. I want smaller waist. We'll lose some fat. Cut a little bit of body weight. Cut some body fat. Problem. Cut a little bit of body.
Yes, cut a little body fat, lose some fat. Definitely, I agree. What would you call this? Would you call this a concentric partial concentric rep?
Weight. Cut some body fat. Problem solved. How do you do that? Cut your calories back a little. Bump your protein a little. Maybe add a little more cardio. It's pretty straightforward, guys.
I like this one. Cut your calories, bump your protein. What do you consider calories then? Artificial diet, calories, and what's protein? Animal protein? So animal products. Okay.
Not a particularly complicated process. I'm not saying it's an easy process. Let me state that again. I am not saying it's an easy process. I'm saying it's not complicated.
So calories would be considered energy food, right? Now, the more energy food you eat, the more your metabolic rate is increased, the more you've accelerated aging, the more your lifespan shall shorten. Like I Am Longevity, he eats slave food, sludge diet. Increasing metabolic rate, that shortens your lifespan. Running around in a field, running around like crazy, back and forth, up and down a field like he does, I Am Longevity, is shortening your lifespan. So he's really shortgevity. He should be calling himself shortgevity. Anytime you increase your metabolic rate, you are shortening your lifespan. So he's doing the opposite of everything that he says. See what I mean? Like Blaha, he does powerlifting in bodybuilding, and he says you're building a muscle. Oh yeah, okay. No, I'm not saying what he's doing here. I mean, to lower body fat too is inappropriate, because he says lower your calories, up the protein. Well, animal products, right? Why not just eat animal products and cut out these energy foods? Doesn't make any sense. You don't need them.
But there's not a lot of advanced knowledge that goes into losing 10 pounds of body fat. Keep lifting weights. Probably bump your protein to air, cut your calories, another 10%, 15%, maybe add a little.
See? Cut out these energy slave foods to make the slaves work harder. Cut out the energy foods. The calories, yeah.
Cardio. I mean, that's the entire complex.
Then he says up the nutrients. Protein, what? Animal protein is what? Nutrients, up the nutrients, sure.
That is the whole science of it. If you want all of it to be as perfect as possible,
yeah,
those are probably the three things that you should think about doing. I'm not saying it's always easy to implement, but you get the idea. Same thing on the rest of it. You can't control your genetic structure, so just build muscle. And that's the advice that I've had even.
You can't control your genetic structure, just build muscle. He's not building any muscle. I like how he throws these weights up.
From, I know a guy.
I love this. He just like throws them. He throws them. He's just throwing them back and forth. I see people swinging weights around all the time in the gym. They just swing them around. Swinging. Does nothing.
Been coaching pro.
It's just like when they do their back exercise, they swing the weight. They use their arms. They just like throw it up in the air and up and down. Yeah.
Natural bodybuilders for over 20 years. He has earned men and women dozens and dozens of Natty Pro cards. I've had some fun conversations with him. Interesting dude, a guy named Craig. I've seen him say the same thing. He's like, quit trying to figure out what class you want to compete in. He goes, you can't change your genetics. So he's talking even to competitors, like natural competitors. He's like, you can't change your structure, you can't change your genetics. There is a division you can compete in. He's talking to men and women because women have even more divisions than men do in terms of bodybuilding and physique. It's like, you can't change any of that. You probably are only going to win in one division. He goes, and unless you're an absolute just genetic freak, a genetic anomaly, you probably only have one division that you have the genes to compete really well in. And that's going to be determined by your genetics. He's like,
I love that, genetics. That's like the reason why these people who are genetically not inclined, like Blaha, they take up all this kind of lifting. They take up all this lifting because they see themselves as so inferior. They want to make themselves superior to people that are already superior to them. And so they want to level out the playing field. But definitely for Blaha, for some reason, it has not worked out at all. Look at those shoulders and arms. This is sarcopenia, really.
Just pick that division and run with it. Just go with it. And he's like, so how do you get there? You just build muscle everywhere. He's like, so since your
I love that. So how do you get there? Just build muscle everywhere. How do you build muscle everywhere? How do you build it? How do you just build it?
Genetics and your structure are going to determine what division you compete in.
You don't just build muscle everywhere. And here's the thing. In bodybuilding, you have to be willing to get smaller in order to get bigger. I told you, it's just like inflation. It takes off. You need to be willing to get smaller to get bigger. You get smaller first in the beginning, and then you start getting bigger. You don't get bigger off the bat. You don't get a bigger. First, you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman. It's not, I get the woman, the power, and the money. Get it? It doesn't work that way in bodybuilding.
It's like, don't weak point train. Don't specialize in anything. He's like, just build every single muscle. He's like, take every muscle in your body, everything from your calves to your hamstrings to your pecs to your rear delts. He's like, and just...
Again, you must be willing to get smaller to get bigger. I can prove this. By the way, I put this in my community section. You probably want to read it because he always has things about... He's always against butter. Butter is really good for you. It helps you with your dental, a bunch of things, dude. So yeah, hold on. This statement, you have to get smaller to get bigger, eccentrically lifting, is misleading. Okay, well, it could be misleading. That's AI. While eccentric lifting, lowering the weight, can be a powerful tool for muscle growth, it doesn't inherently require or cause a temporary reduction in size, but it does because the macrophage comes out and cleans up the dead tissue. So I don't know, not that I know of, because NCBI has has a report where it says you got to get smaller to get bigger. I posted in my community section. For starters, putting on focus on both eccentric, concentric portions. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I can't find it right now. I'd have to look for it. NCBI. Get smaller to get bigger. It doesn't. Okay, hold on. Eccentric training is often used to build mass. It is. The key is to use eccentric contractions effectively to stimulate muscle growth, which can lead to overall gains in size. It does. It's a powerful tool for muscle growth. See the word? Powerful tool for muscle growth. Which is that? Eccentric. It's not concentric, that's for sure. Anyways, yeah, I think it's NCBI. Refers to specific concept in muscle growth known as muscle hypertrophy. Okay, I think it's this one. The study aimed at loading effects on muscle hypertrophy resistance. Yeah, I don't know, man. I posted a long time ago in my community section. I can't look for it now. It says you got to get, it says get smaller to get bigger. The statement NCBI to get smaller to get bigger refers to a specific concept in muscle growth known as muscle hypertrophy, where muscles increase in size by adding muscle cells, not just in the individual cells growing larger. This process often involves a period of reducing body weight or cutting to reveal muscle definition after building muscle mass through bulking. Oh no, that's fake, the bulking thing, man. I don't even believe that shit. But anyways, yeah, no, not bulking. Gotta get smaller to get bigger. Fuck, I can't find it. Get smaller to get... I don't know where it is, man. I can't find it right now, shit. This statement needs to be, I guess, smaller to get bigger. How fat cells change. Okay, now they keep coming up with different stuff now, see? But whatever. Anyways, I don't have time to find it. I'd have to look through the whole thing. But yeah, get smaller to get bigger. Growing significantly. Okay, this is wrong too. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's PubMed. I don't even remember, man. Versus strength training. Man, I don't know where it is. Where a muscle lengthens under tension. No. Shit, I don't know where it is, man. I have no idea. Anyways, I'm going back to the video. Otherwise, it'll take forever.
They only have one division that you calves to your hamstrings, to your pecs, to your rear delts. He's like, and just
so you have to get smaller. Really, you do have to get smaller to get bigger.
Every single last muscle.
In other words,
get everything as big as
I love this.
You can personally get it.
Yeah, just get everything to get bigger as personally as you can get. Yeah, good luck with that. Just try to get it. Just try to get bigger. Yeah, just how do you do that though? How do you do that, Blaha? Blaha doesn't tell you. He just tells you just get bigger all over, but he doesn't tell you how to. You know, here's the thing. Like I said, you do have to get smaller to get bigger. In other words, not that you get smaller to get bigger. It's because you lose some muscle because of the macrophage comes out, cleans up the dead tissue, and then it rebuilds it bigger all the time. So you get a little bit smaller, but then you get a little bit bigger. You get a little bit smaller, then you get a little bit bigger, and then eventually you just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You get the idea. So it takes a while. It takes a while to see real gains. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen overnight.
And then rib down to the appropriate body fat for that division. He's like, because you can't change your genetics. You can't just be magically good genetics and structure for one division and just do well in another. He's like, you'll probably place worse. You just pick the right division. He goes, and don't bother to try to train for that division. Just build everything. So wouldn't the same thing apply to all of you who just want a better physique? Just go game.
Yeah, guys, just build everything. Lift like Blaha, concentrically, and just build muscle. Build everything. Yeah. See you in 100 years.
Muscle. Just build everything. Build your whole body.
See,
Make sure
just
you
build everything. Just build your whole body. Just build it. Just go out and build it. Yeah, it's just magically just gonna build because Blaha says just go out and build it. But Blaha's going out. He's not building anything.
build your biceps. Make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
you build your quads.
Yeah. Build your biceps. Build your quads. Just go out there and build them. Well, okay, how do you build them? How?
You know, make sure your traps make sure everything gets worked.
Yeah. Oh, make sure everything gets worked. So if they get worked, they'll magically grow. They get worked. Lifting concentrically. Okay.
Just build everything.
Just build. Just build everything. Yeah, sure.
And then if you want to have a better physique after that, improved aesthetics, just get leaner. And let your genetics
Yes, just get leaner if you want to improve your aesthetics. Yes, okay.
just dictate where you are. No, you probably won't be Mr. Olympia. You probably won't get a pro card in anything. But you'll still look good. And to the
Okay.
average person, you may even look like a god.
I like this. To the average person, you may look like a god. See, that's the idea. These genetically, how should I put it? Not inclined people, they want to look like a god compared to the average person out there, and you're not, because the person that is better looking than you will always have godly status over you. It doesn't matter what you do. You understand me? People with good genetics, they don't go to gyms. They don't need to. They have really good genetics. They don't go to gyms, bro. Okay? I'm not joking. The people that have really, really good genetics, they don't really want to go to gyms because they just don't see it. It's not viable for them. They look good. They can get women. They get whatever they want. It's the people that are insecure, poor genetics. They go to gyms because they think this will improve them, and then they'll get girls and whatever.
If you just do those things. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been...
Yeah. Do a bunch of hip thrusts. Maybe that will help, Blaha. Maybe finally somebody will find you attractive. I'll see you in the next one, man. Tell what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. This is another ridiculous video, bro. Christ. I have to find that thing from NCBI. Get smaller to get bigger. There's a true statement there, whatever. Maybe the overview didn't really understand what I was trying to say. But anyways, okay. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends.